Right, so acoustic features, we've had some data for quite a long time, not really leveraged it much. But what we've got, so back in the day, Nokia NRC extracted a bunch of features forward, there they are. Mostly came out with values between 0 and 1. I wanted to try and visualise this stuff, see what it would look like. Before I did that. So this is kind of what that data looked like originally, not very exciting. Wanted to try and visualise it, so if you get a radio station, what would it look like? So I used something called PCA, principal component analysis, to squash 27 dimensions down to 2. This is actually looking like anything at all. The idea being that this gives you some idea of how acoustically similar all the tracks in your station are. You can see some, here's a station where I think it's quite similar, there's one where they're not. I figured if we can match that back up to things like thumbs up, thumbs down engagement in reg data, maybe you can see that people prefer this kind of thing. Once you generated a station, have a look at it. No, that's too diverse or too similar. I also wanted to look at track sequencing, but that was just in time. So next used a kind of fairly naive approach to try and calculate how close tracks were to each other, using this rather picky equation here. And looking at the results, when we compare things together, I found that it was quite difficult picking out things like duplicate tracks. So here's tracks that were considered to be equal. You can see that they were actually the same track, different entity IDs. It brought out things like dodgy metadata, where we've got the same track, but maybe one person sent it to us as RAP, or we classified it that way, classified it a different way there. And also things like just slightly different metadata. So you can identify tracks that are the same, despite the metadata being different. And also things like where they're not exactly the same, they're very nearly the same. Maybe it's just an explicit version, or someone's featured on it, like it used to be. Next thing I wanted to see was, can we actually create a, stuff now. Could we create a radio station based on a track rather than artist-to-artist recommendation? What might that look like? So, starting from Heart-Shaped Box by Nirvana, looking at what sort of stuff we gave it. On the whole, it wasn't too bad. Found that we definitely need things like Christmas filters, radio rules, and obviously your user profile.